There's a few things I want to talk about today. And one is intuition and trusting your inner guidance. So I'm finding at the moment that a lot of people are looking for news, and there's a lot of news circulating that is probably pretty fake. Like something I got this morning. Dogs always want to be here, don't they? It's not much room for you, buddy. I got this morning something about Mother Teresa, that she's behind all this and that she's a people smuggler. And I was just like, sorry, I'm going to swear at this one. I was like, for fuck's sake, like, you can isolate me and take my friends away. You can stop the sushi deliveries service and the ability to get a good takeaway coffee or being able to go to the beach. But you cannot take Mother Teresa from me. I love that woman and I don't believe any of it, you know, and there's some really stupid things going around at the moment. Like, and it's hard to not get annoyed when well-meaning people send you something as well. Like, some really good friends sent me some things today and I was like, first of all, that's just gross. And I know I can be quite polarizing, but some of the things I've got, I'm like, can't look at that first thing in the morning. Can't look at that at morning tea time. Can't look at that before lunch. In fact, I just can't look at it. And it's just when we get to really put our filters up, because what I believe gets to happen now is we get to choose what we follow. And the things we don't pay attention to and we don't buy into will disappear. And what is going to happen is those things with poor foundations, those things without strong legs, without a core, without a strong core, without a backbone, without a mission, without a strong vision, aren't going to last. And what we're going to see is the things will go back a little bit to normal. And in some ways it's good, like the local food producers will stand tall because they're just using their traditional methods. They just keep turning up. They just keep toiling the soil. They just keep going on. And now they get to provide for their communities. The good producers and the good brands and the stable things will continue. And that goes for beliefs within ourselves. That goes for trust within ourselves. And what we get to do is really start feeling and start trusting our feelings. We get to really trust our gut. We get to trust and follow with our heart. And we get to really start knowing what's the brain and what's the monkey mind and the ego, which are all beautiful and all really important. But the more we tune out of all this news and all this fuss and all this noise and choose who we listen to and choose who we want to receive news from and choose who we want to receive from, the more we will start trusting ourselves. And so every time someone writes to me, every time there's a link to open, I feel into it. And I think to myself, is this expansive or constrictive? Because I don't like anxiety. I don't like uncertainty. And I don't like feeling weird. And when I open some of this fake news before I have the logical mind to think, what's going on here? Is this real or fake? Or is this just another one of those things? Or do I really even need to spend my time reading this right now? My time is precious. You know, I'm not on lockdown just sitting around picking my navel fluff hair out. I'm busy. I've got things to do, you know, and myself to reconnect with even on a deeper level. So ask yourself, start really trusting your intuition. So many people write to me, and now more than ever, saying, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And I turn to them and say, well, what do you think? And they're like, well, I'm asking you. And I'm like, but I'm not you. What do you think? Just stop. Feel your bum on the seat. Feel your feet on the floor. Sit up, roll back your shoulders, open up your lungs and have a yawn. Have a breath. Have a shake. Put your hand on your heart. Connect with your heartbeat. And ask yourself, how do I feel about that? Is this real for me? Does this feel expansive or constrictive? Does this make me feel love or fear? And I choose love. I don't work well in fear. Fear does not serve me. Yes, I need to be aware of current affairs, but I choose to see the good in everything. And I choose not to buy into fear. I choose not to. Yes, I'm stocked. I'm smart. Like, I've got some food, but I'm not going to go panic buying. And I don't know why everyone was worried about toilet paper. Like, we've got a Beto in most places in Spain. And if not, like, really? What feels? I don't even want to go to the shops because I don't want to be around that mentality anyway. I'd rather fast. I've lived on water for 40 days in a row. It's actually one of the best experiences I've ever had. And I'm getting ready to go back into some fasting because can't do a lot of exercise. Well, I'm doing plenty of exercise actually, but you know, it's a good time to create that space to do a cleanse in my life. And with that cleanse comes anything that does not serve me has to go, which includes fear, which includes fake news, which includes people that are obsessed with this shit and would rather sit there and obsessing on fake news and sharing it, which is like where energy flows, attention goes, which is adding to that attention, which is going to create more of that in their life. Or do we stop and sniff the roses? Do we stop and like go inside? Do we stop and calm our nervous system and ourselves down enough to say, how does this feel for me at this time? How does it feel? And we've been given a beautiful gift. We've been given more time. We've been given the time to stop and think, what do I need to eat right now? I felt like I needed a ginger juice and celery, and it was so strong. I didn't think I'd be able to get on this live. And cheers pouring. I was like, okay. Someone went a little bit nuts on the ginger. Maybe I should look at ginger with a bit of scarcity at the moment. I was like, this will do. Then I was like, whoo, it's actually a pretty good high, actually. So just went straight to the brain. So what do I feel like this at this time? You know, what do I want to nourish my body? What do I want to create? What do I believe to be true? What feels right to me? And you know, we can definitely have teachers and mentors, but I think a lot of things that don't have good foundations are going to fall away at the seams, and I think people will think differently after this, and people will trust differently. So you know who we've got to learn to trust more than anyone in the world right now is ourselves and our own instinct. And we lost that instinct when we started buying into fear, when we started buying into rushing, when we started buying into not enoughness, when we started buying into scarcity, and when we started buying into being chased by a bear that's not there, and living with these really, and I'm definitely qualified to talk on this, I've probably had the most dysregulated nervous system ever, constantly traveling and trauma nurse and jumping out of helicopters to pick people up, and biggest party animal ever when I was a trauma nurse, because hey, when someone dies in your arms, the best thing to do is go and get really drunk with your doctor and nurse friends at 8 a.m, and it's okay because you're medical professionals. That's how I rolled in my 20s in London. So yeah, what do you think? What do you feel? Let's just take a moment and just put your bum on the chair and just take a moment to stop everything, stop all the thoughts, stop worrying, just start loving, and just put your hand on your heart and just shut your eyes and don't think for 10 seconds. Take a breath and give yourself a big hug and say, I love you, in your name, and a big hug and say, I love you, in your name. And then just think about something that you've read or seen today that got your attention. Whether it's good or bad, life's about learning to balance duality. So there actually isn't anything good or bad. It's just choosing how you buy into it and what energy you give. So think of a situation, something that made you a bit anxious. Maybe some news, maybe breakfast, sunrise TV. What a joke. So not sunny, that news at the moment. Don't know why anyone would watch that at breakfast time, but anyway, each their own. Totally. If you feel like it's the right thing for you, then it is, right? And just feel into something and really feel into it. And I want you to just feel into your body. Let's scan it down. Imagine you like going through an x-ray or something. It's scanning for tension, for constriction, for lumps or bumps or weird feelings or nausea down through the head, any blockages, any headaches, down through the face, down through the brain, down through the throat. Sometimes, especially now, we get lumps in our throat. I can actually feel one. There must be something I want to say. Maybe it's the ginger I just sculled. Down through the heart. Down, 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 down into the gut. Down into the legs, scanning for tension, for constriction, for lumps or bumps or anything. Just feels a bit off or weird. Could be like just a bit of like a heaviness. Just pay attention to that and feel into it and see, has it got a colour? Has it got a size? So I'm feeling into like this blockage in my throat, and it's like, I'm going to just be really vulnerable and share my shit here. I don't know what will happen. It's like a murky green thing, and it's about the size of an apricot. And it's kind of round, but a bit sludgy. Like a Gorby. Which is appropriate with all the lung stuff going on. And so I just feel into that, and so it's about that big and it's green. So give it a colour and a size and a shape, and how's it feel? It's just annoying. It's like I could live with it. So now imagine like sunlight coming down through your head, and you're breathing up light from the earth and down from the sun, and just imagine your whole body just filled with sunlight, like mine was a few hours ago when the sun was out. It was such a beautiful sunny morning here. And just breathe that sunlight in to that lump and make it start spinning wherever it is in your body, whatever shape or color or size. Doesn't matter which way it spins, and make it spin faster and faster and faster and faster, and then make that sunlight go into it and make it lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, and then it turns into sprinkles. Sprinkles all around, and you breathe the good parts up. Everything's got good and bad, and the bad parts settle and go down into the earth. And I want you to just feel into that space now where we extracted that lump of constriction and resistance, and just think of a time that you felt so much love. You just felt amazing, and like, you know, holding, you know, your child when they were born, or your wedding day, or holding your granny as she died, or your, well, that was the most beautiful thing I ever experienced. Your new puppy, loving yourself, the pride you felt when you got a degree, or learned to surf a green wave, or won a sailing race, or something with a crew, whatever it is, something, just fill your heart full of love, the most love you've ever felt, and really feel it, breathe it into that space where we just extracted that lump from. And now just take a moment to really feel that feeling of feeling bang on purpose, full of love, best day ever, nothing else matters. And just allow it to go all into your body and just make you feel really inspired and on point and on purpose. And now we're going to scan again, like the x-ray, going down, 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 seeing if there's any lumps or bumps there. Going down through the body, seeing if there's any resistance, any constriction, anything that just feels a bit off or weird. If it is, repeat the process again. And then just take a moment to just feel. And now I want you to ask yourself, what do you really need to do for yourself at this time? What does your body really need? What could you do for your cells to feel really healthy and alive and amazing? What could you say? What could you write down and burn or get off your chest? What physical activity could you do to make you feel really amazing right now and really support and nurture you? Even if you're in a tiny one-bedroom hotel, you could do some burpees or touch your toes on the floor. Prisoners of wars do that in their isolation cells, so you can. What can you do that feels really, really good and amazing for yourself right now, that's going to make you feel more high vibe, make you feel more on purpose, and make you feel more understood and amazing? So do it. Do it. And if you haven't already, make space to do that every day. You know, when we start working from home and we start working online, and we don't go into the office, it changes our system and we can get a bit lazy. And so, you know, schedule times to get up from your desk, get that oxygen to your brain. If we don't get oxygen to our brain, we get sick and we have bad thoughts and we feel shitty. If we don't move our bodies, we get constipated and we get grumpy and we feel shitty. If we don't look after ourselves and drink enough water, we get dehydrated. That lowers our blood pressure. It makes us feel dizzy. It makes us feel shitty. So sit up straight and have a deep breath and do something. Have a boogie. Let's run on the spot. Get those hips moving. We store so much stagnicity in our hips. And rub the sides of your legs really, really, really fast. It actually makes, I've cleared so many bowel obstructions in nursing doing this, so look out, you might have to run to the loo. But let's get those bowels stimulated. Give yourself a slap all over. Slap ourselves and get some circulation going. Awesome. Now, you know what I wanted to say? D for danger. What are you scared of at the moment? What's freaking you out? Own it. Look it in the eyes and recognize it. It could be something really stupid. How are you looking after your nervous system? Take a breath, have a clap, and think, how am I responding at the moment? Am I in control? Am I making good decisions? Or am I reacting to circumstances or what Joe Blow did down the road or the news? How is this situation making me feel? Airway, sit up straight. Lift up your arms, stretch, and down, and have a big breath. And breathing, put your hand on your belly and one on your chest and feel your heartbeat, and have a big breath. And see for circulation, have a dance. Woo. Punch the air. Wiggle your pelvis, get that nervous system going. Give your thighs a rub, and now let's slap and get that circulation going. Slap yourself all over, even on your face. All right, how's that feel? Feel better? I do. And it gets to be that easy. Choose what makes you feel expansive. Choose to do what makes you feel good. Choose to do what doesn't make you feel knotted and tight, and start following your gut. I think that's why the world's in this situation at the moment. We started listening to everyone else besides ourselves. You've got all the answers and you know what to do. So remember your Dr. ABCs, take big breaths, stop, chill, regulate, do something really useful for yourself, do something for somebody else, and do something you have to do. Mwah. Lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.